What if the smallest seed of belief could unlock life's biggest changes? Imagine something so small, so seemingly insignificant, yet capable of transforming everything. That's the power of faith, as small as a mustard seed. A force so quiet and subtle that it often goes unnoticed, but when nurtured, it can move mountains. In today's journey, we'll explore why this idea has captivated millions, how it can change lives, and what it really means to embrace belief with all its potential. Think about the mustard seed. Tiny, unassuming, almost invisible. Yet when planted, it grows beyond anything its size would suggest. This seed symbolizes so much more than its physical form. For ages, it's represented the power of starting small, with nothing but a shred of hope and vision. Countless stories begin this way. Legends like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malala Yousafzai didn't start with grand movements behind them. They began with a single act of belief. Small beginnings, fueled by a relentless faith, can lead to incredible outcomes. It's often in our darkest hours that the seed of faith begins to grow. Doubt, ironically, is the soil where faith takes root. When life feels uncertain, when challenges seem overwhelming, it's often a spark of belief that keeps us going. We've all been there. That moment where you're just not sure how to proceed, yet something within urges you forward. This is faith in its rawest form. A quiet resilience. For some, this might mean leaning into spirituality. For others, it's a belief in themselves or in those around them. Look around today and you'll find stories of ordinary people facing extraordinary trials, yet holding on to a glimmer of hope. Consider the countless individuals who endured the pandemic's challenges, finding strength in faith to move through loss, isolation, and change. Or think of those who, against all odds, started small businesses during economic uncertainty, driven by a faith in their dreams. These stories are everywhere, tiny mustard seeds of belief growing into pillars of resilience. Faith doesn't mean living without fear, it means pushing through despite it. Sometimes the biggest obstacle to our dreams is doubt, the voice that says, "I'm not good enough," or "this is impossible." But real faith isn't the absence of these fears, it's choosing to act in spite of them. In fact, those who've changed history rarely felt fearless. They simply took that first step forward, believing just enough to see what was possible. And often, that single step is all it takes to spark something unstoppable. When belief isn't just personal but shared, it transforms into something even more powerful. Movements have been born out of a collective faith, like the civil rights movement, which was driven by a shared belief in justice and equality, or communities coming together after a natural disaster driven by a common faith in rebuilding. This is where faith transcends the individual and becomes a catalyst for real change, proving that sometimes the greatest power isn't in standing alone, but in standing together. So what can a mustard seed-sized faith do in your life? Remember, every great achievement, every breakthrough begins with a moment of belief. The power of faith isn't about grand gestures or unshakable certainty. It's about starting with something small, something real, and letting it grow. Ask yourself, what could you accomplish if you embraced your own tiny seed of faith? The possibilities are endless, but it all starts with one simple choice: to believe even just a little.